excellent performance of the GRA. To date, as of June, the numbers look pretty good, and this is not through any new tax rate increases or any new tax introduction, but all we have been playing, the playbook has been enhanced compliance, and enhanced compliance using digital platforms. So that is the way forward. We are happy to report that GRA has done exceptionally well in the year to date, and the collection CG, thanks to digitalization and other reform agenda, has actually increased more than 100% compared to the 2022 numbers.
Yankuba Dabo, the Gambia's Commissioner General who heads the GRA, says the introduction of digitalization reforms have helped improve compliance and spur revenue performance by enhancing efficiency, transparency, accessibility, and innovation. And while commending GRA staff for their contribution to the authority's growth, he adds that the GRA leadership remains committed to transforming the Gambia's tax administration.
So as far as GRA is concerned, the sky is the limit. Once we have the support of our principal, that's the Ministry of Finance, and the government will keep moving to make sure that every aspect of our tax is digitalized, because that's the way forward.
In recent years, the GRA has consistently met its annual targets, notably in 2024, exceeding the target by 8%, registering $5 billion in growth, with digital stamps alone adding $85 million in revenue. While these impressive performances are being credited to ongoing reforms, Finance Minister Keita implores other institutions to emulate the GRA's digitalization drive, describing it as the surest way to ensure sustainability and improve performances where efficiency is guaranteed. Answana Sonyase for KTV News.
In the bid to advance women's economic empowerment, Honorable Fatu Cham, National Assembly member for Sani Mentoring, has urged the government to increase its financial allocation to the Women Enterprise Fund. She made these remarks following President Barrow's 2025 State of the Nation address at the National Assembly. Usman Jata has more.
From bustling markets to small roadside stalls and other ventures, women are at the heart of the Gambia's informal economy. Yet, many continue to face challenges, including barriers to accessing capital and expanding their businesses. During his State of the Nation address, President Barrow highlighted the Women Enterprise Fund, a vital tool for addressing these challenges and supporting women-led businesses.
My administration has expanded financial inclusion and access to resources for female entrepreneurs. Between June and December 2024, for example, the sum of $15.88 million was disbursed by the Women Enterprise Fund to support 138 women groups across the country.
Established in September 2020, the fund was designed to offer targeted support to women entrepreneurs, providing them with access to loans, grants, and other forms of financial assistance. It also aims to boost job creation and foster linkages between women-run small and medium enterprises and larger markets. Honorable Fatu Cham, member for Sani Mentoring, welcomed the President's remarks, but emphasized that although the fund is commendable, its level of support must be expanded.
The manner that the Women Enterprise Fund is there to support women is not really sufficient for the women. I know nothing is enough, but at least let them double up with the way they are trying to support women, especially the women entrepreneurs. Because the Women Enterprise Fund is there to support women to do at least little entrepreneurships. But this is not happening, because you cannot give a $1 million, $100,000 to 100 group of people. How much do you expect those people to have? And what do you expect for those women to do out of it? How much profit do you expect those women to generate out of that?
In a parliamentary session last year, Gender Minister Honorable Fatu Kinte revealed that over $46 million had been recovered, and nearly 70% of the amount since the fund's inception. This signals strong accountability, but also the high demand for more accessible capital. President Barrow also reaffirmed his administration's continued commitment to women and children, highlighting the broader national objectives of promoting social equity and economic inclusion.
Through policies, economic programs, and social protection initiatives, we are ensuring that women and children present with disabilities and vulnerable communities have equal opportunities and support systems to improve their lives. We will continue to make significant strides in promoting gender equality and women empowerment.
As women continue to drive local economies and support families through small businesses, calls like Honorable Cham shine a light on the importance of enhancing investment in gender-focused programs for thousands more women to shape a more inclusive, resilient economy. Osman Jata reported for QTV News.
As part of efforts to enhance climate resilience, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, with support from the Agence Française de Développement, AFD, launches the Resilient Gambia project on Friday. Janaba Sonko has the details.
Through the Resilient Gambia project, a total of 800 hectares of land will be restored, namely the Wetland Reserve Jokado National Park, the Kiang West National Park, Baobolong, Bintambalong and Elephant Island. Ibrahim Ajawara, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Environment, highlights that once these areas are restored, climate-resilient livelihoods will be enhanced, promoting the diversification of income sources for the vulnerable population.
We are not only safeguarding natural capital, but investing in long-term food security, climate adaptation and disaster risk reduction. The RGP represents a milestone in integrated and collaborative governance.
Mangroves are unique and vulnerable plants in the ecosystem, as they store 50 times more carbon in their soil by surface area compared to tropical trees and 10 times more than temperature forest. Stéphane Duvoir, France ambassador to the Gambia, gives an assurance of support through the Gambia for possible carbon credit sales.
The project will assess the carbon storage potential and restored areas. This will open the door to innovative and sustainable financing, including through carbon markets in the Gambia. Carbon market is not very common yet, but it's coming, and this is an angle to make it happen together.
Less developed countries, LDCs, of which the Gambia is one, are severely affected by an increasing debt burden from climate finance resulting from climate crisis. As one of the 10th of July 2025, while rich nations have pledged $789 million, they have only transferred $348 million so far to the fund for responding to damage and loss. Esther Kamara, the Director of Climate Finance at the Ministry of Finance, welcomes AFD's contribution to the Gambia's climate action efforts.
Because it's unfortunate that as a country, we have not contributed that much to global emission. Our contribution to global emission is about 0.something%. And when it comes to facing the impacts of climate change, we are the ones on the front line of the climate crisis. So we would really need that support to really address some of the impacts that we face as a country. So for us, we see this as, in a way, trying to enhance the advocacy that we've been all calling up for to really support developing countries to address the climate crisis.
Once the Resilient Gambia project becomes a reality, climate change effects can be lessened, enhancing biodiversity, improving food security, and creating economic opportunities. For QTV News, I am Jenna Wasonko.
We will take a short commercial break. When we return, we look at a project contributing to food security and a court case involving cocaine at the Banjul International Airport. Do stay tuned and join us after the break.
At Ajib Bank, we are more than banking. We build bridges that connect you to pivotal services every day. Do you have government bills to pay to the Gambia Revenue Authority, Comfort, KMC, or the Accountant General's Department? We've got you covered. From payment of customs and domestic taxes to GRA, payment of number plate and vehicle ownership transfer to Comfort, payment of property rates and business license fee to KMC, and payment of MR passport, business registration, fishing license, land fees, sale of assets, lease application, development permits, quarrying royalties, gravel and sand, mining royalties, and a host of other revenue lines to the Accountant General's Department. Walk into any of our branches nationwide and make your payments hassle-free. Either in person or online, simple, secure, and immediate. With Ajib Bank, there is no need to worry about government bill payments for your vehicles, taxes, licenses, business registration, and any other revenue line. Ajib Bank, passionate about your investment. We've got you covered. Ajib Bank, your investment partner.
Browse Bitas. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse Bitas promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back after that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News and I'm Jacqueline Coley. Now, the World Bank Giraffe Project aims to enhance agricultural productivity and improve market access, thereby strengthening food security and livelihoods for farmers and communities in the Gambia. On Thursday, we visited the Sabiji Poultry Farm in Jambanjeli, West Coast region, with officials from the Ministry of Agriculture to assess the farm's progress in contributing to reducing the country's dependence on imported eggs. Usman Jata tells us more.
Sabiji Poultry Farm was established in response to the previous government's restriction on imported chicken products during the Second Republic. Driven by the vision of building sustainable livelihoods and reducing irregular migration, CEO Kemo Cham, 44, launched the venture with a small team and a big ambition. Despite initial challenges, the farm has steadily expanded thanks to a significant boost from the World Bank-funded Giraffe project, which covered 60% of the $300,000 expansion cost.
When Giraffe came, then we were at a small scale, very, very small. With the coming of Giraffe, we have 3 structures. These 3 structures, each would take 20,000 capacities. Here is for only layers. You go to Sukuta, we have our broilers farm there. It is because of that place we won this project from Giraffe. Before the coming of Giraffe, we were not scoring up to 100 crates a day. Our maximum was 92 crates a day. But with the coming of Giraffe, we are scoring over 800 crates a day.
The Giraffe project promotes private sector participation in agriculture by facilitating access to investment, policy improvements, and market development. From just 3 workers at its inception, the farm now employs 32 people. Haruna Tarawale, one of the farm's longest-serving employees, shared his personal story.
Poultry work is demanding, but we are a team and we have grown stronger. This job helps me provide for my family. I once lived in Europe and thought of going back, but the farm changed my plans.
Despite progress in the farm's egg production, challenges remain. The local poultry sector struggles to compete with imported eggs, which are often cheaper due to bulk imports and subsidies in origin countries. In addition, high poultry feed prices strain local operations. To reduce cost, Sabiji has begun producing its own feed using raw materials, but CEO Cham stresses the need for government support to regulate poultry imports and stabilize the local market.
Alhamdulillah, we are targeting next 2 years, but that has to be the support of the central government. If these importations are banned, we are empowered. We have some small problems that we want to solve here. Once we solve that in the next 2 years, inshallah, we will take care of our country.
Abdullah Toure, Giraffe Project Coordinator at the Ministry of Agriculture, acknowledged these challenges and reaffirmed the project's commitment to helping farmers through technical and financial support.
We are trying to work out something, to have a policy dialogue with all the sectors that are concerned, the Ministry of Trade, the Chamber of Commerce, the tourism, because we want to make sure that at least the hoteliers also try to get some of our locally produced products.
CEO Cham thanked World Bank and Giraffe and urged fellow beneficiaries to maximize the support provided. As the Gambia works towards food self-sufficiency, farmers like Sabiji are key players, but their message is clear. Local production needs protection and market support to thrive. Osman Jatta, reporting for QTV News.
Very, very impressive. Now, the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, has wrapped up 4 days capacity building training for its commissioners and staff, aimed at enhancing skills in project planning, resource mobilization and monitoring and evaluation to improve the institution's operational effectiveness. Here is Loliem Kamara.
The 4-day training was held in collaboration with the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance International IDEA, supported by the European Union. Participants engaged in interactive sessions designed to strengthen institutional performance and the individual skills that are essential for effective project implementation in the human rights and justice sectors. At the closing ceremony, Jenaba Faye, country coordinator for International IDEA, and the European Union's Deputy Head of Mission in the Gambia, Rafael Brigandi, respectively, both congratulated participants for their active engagement and stressed the importance of building a results-oriented public service.
This training aimed to contribute to NHRC overcoming some of these challenges. As representatives of the Human Rights Commission and the Ministry of Justice, you carry profound responsibility. The projects you lead, whether they involve advocating for marginalized groups, promoting access to justice, or safeguarding fundamental freedoms, have the power to transform lives. The skills you have honed here in this past 4 days will ensure that your efforts are not only visionary, but also practical and sustainable.
International IDEA core project, so hand in hand with International IDEA, we are really proud to support these efforts to strengthen your capacity to deliver on results that are grounded in an overall strategy, aligned of course with strong human rights principles, and that are responding to the needs of the Gambian citizens.
Sana M. Dabo, the lead consultant and trainer, commended the NHRC for mobilizing resources to sustain capacity building initiatives. He encouraged participants to prioritize long-term outcomes and institutional impact over mere outputs. The chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, Emmanuel Daniel Diouf, expressed appreciation for the collaborative effort that made the training a success.
You all participated very, very well. We were all excited. It's like, this is the way. If this is the way to learn, I think we'll all come to learning sessions. On that note, I thank each and every one of you once again for your time, your contributions, and your commitment. But of course, I cannot conclude this statement by thanking all of you for taking part in the quiz. And not only that, the group that won, which is my group. You've made me proud.
Participants received certificates and were urged to apply their new skills in managing justice and human rights projects nationwide. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
Now, 2 Gambian youths have opened their defense in the high-profile Banjul Airport cocaine case currently before Justice Ibrahima Jaite at the Banjul High Court. Court reporting is by Nicholas Bass of The Voice newspaper, and the story is narrated by Ibrahima Balde.
Sidi Cisse and Lamin Cisse are among 5 Gambian nationals charged with dealing in and transporting prohibited drugs at the Banjul International Airport on the 29 June 2024. The others charged are Yaya K. Jata, Modu Bojang and Mohamed Jallo. Earlier in the case, with defense counsel Sirif K. Job having made a submission on behalf of his clients, 4 Portuguese women, Vilma Cabra Royal, Ana Patricia Furtado, Simara Martins, and Miriam Mendes, all were discharged by the courts after the judge ruled there was no case against them. Testifying in his defense, Sidi Cisse, a loader with Gambia International Airlines, denied giving 3 bags of cocaine to co-accused Lamin Cisse. He also told the court that statements presented by the prosecution were not made voluntarily. During cross-examination, Cisse admitted quarreling with a supervisor at the baggage unit and said he often helped clients, including one named Usman, to send baggage through flights, sometimes receiving tips in return. When asked if such baggage required an escort, he said it didn't, as long as payment was made. Meanwhile, Lamin Cisse, Sidi Cisse, co-accused, also denied the drug-related charges and confirmed knowing Sidi Cisse. The case is set to continue after court races. Ibrahim Balde, QTV News.
That story by Nicholas Bass of the Verse newspaper brings us to the end of the news, but before that, let's recap the headlines. The Gambia Revenue Authority, GRA, collected $13 billion in revenue during the first half of 2025, marking a significant increase compared to previous half-year periods. In a bid to advance women's economic empowerment, Honorable Fatou Cham, National Assembly member for Sandimentering, has urged the government to increase its financial allocation to the Women Enterprise Fund. As part of efforts to enhance climate resilience, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources and partners launches the Resilient Gambia project on Friday. As part of the World Bank Giraffe Project, officials from the Ministry of Agriculture visited Sabiji Poultry Farm in Jambanjeli, West Coast Region, to evaluate its progress. The National Human Rights Commission has wrapped up 4 days capacity building training for its commissioners and staff to enhance and improve the institution's operational effectiveness. That's all for this news bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. for the weekend review with Ade Darame, Modumboch and Lamindi Sonko doing the sign language interpretation. Thanks for watching and bye.